Well, I'm here with Cameron McCloud
Yes,
of Cure for Paranoia, the winner of the 2026 NPR Tiny Desk Contest.
Oh my God, today.
I want to start by saying congratulations. This is a big deal.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Your
it.
video entry was among 6,000 that came in from across the country.
Yeah.
And I want to start with where we are right now. We're at the Bomb Factory,
Yeah.
which is an iconic venue in Deep Ellum.
First big stage I ever performed on, also.
You have a personal connection here.
Yeah.
You came up here in Dallas.
Yes, sir.
I want to start by asking you, what has been the reaction from the scene, from this community to your win?
Yeah. I think the coolest part about it and the thing that I'm realizing is like, I'm so grateful to have people that, just a community of people that literally want me to win more than I do, honestly. And I really want to win, but I feel like since we have been on the scene and we have been doing this for literally 10 years straight, I think people have get to feel a sense of like pride and ownership in this, because it's like their support really is kind of what got me where I'm at. And like, yeah, it's like whenever like you bet on a horse and it wins type thing.
Yeah. Erykah Badu, you have a well-known relationship.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to talk since this was announced?
We got a well-known relationship in the sense that I snuck backstage and rapped to her, and then she let me play her birthday party. But I mean, I don't be FaceTiming her with my legs in the air, kicking them. You know what I mean? I'm sure she's, seeing what's going on. Hey, girl.
Let's talk about your video.
Yeah.
It was your entire band, or at least a lot of them.
Yeah.
How many members? 10 or 11? It depends on the show.
It depends on the show, yeah, and it also really just depends on who. I play with so many killer musicians. Like sometimes they might be playing in like Tokyo or something. Some members might be playing in Tokyo. Some members might be on a tour in Europe or something like that. So it's like, it is very much given like the Avengers. Like if we're all here, we're going to assemble.
Yeah, and
I mean?
it's a great video, it's a great song, it's award-winning, and you perform in front of the Eyeball in downtown Dallas.
Yes,
That
sir.
says to me that it was important to you
Yeah.
that you represent Dallas in your entry.
Yeah, I just really thought that with the following that I've amassed over the last year, like posting a verse every single day, I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to really put eyes on Dallas. And what better way to put eyes on Dallas than to go rap in front of a big old eyeball? It's just simple math.
For those who are not familiar with the NPR Tiny Desk Contest,
Yeah.
it comes with some perks. So you're going to go and perform at the Tiny Desk in Washington, D.C., and then you're going to go on a 10-city national tour.
Yeah.
You will no doubt pick up followers on your social, on all of your social accounts, and those Tiny Desk concerts, by the way, get millions of views.
Yeah.
All the biggest artists perform there.
Yeah.
What aspect of this is most exciting to you?
It's not even, I think the most exciting aspect of all this isn't even any of those things that you mentioned. The most exciting thing about this to me is everything that's going to come from this. And that's what I've been submitting for year after year. It wasn't to be on Tiny Desk, it wasn't to go on this tour. Both things that I really want and I'm excited for. But I just knew that all we needed were the eyes on us. Not to keep going back to the eyes, but I mean, my God, look at me. we can go back there if we want to. I just know that all we need is the eyes, and then just the sky's the limit. So I'm mostly excited from the results of all this.
This was your 4th entry. I didn't know if this was a sore subject for you.
It's totally fine. Listen, I genuinely would not be the artist that I am now if it weren't for finding out about the Tiny Desk submission. Because the first year that I did it, I didn't even know there was a tour. I didn't even know. I didn't even think that we would get noticed. I just thought that like it would be good content to put out there. We'd get like 500 likes on Facebook or something. I don't know. But within our first submission, they asked us to go play a sold-out show in Houston. And that's how I found out that there was a tour involved. So we went and played the NPR show in Houston, and like, you would have thought we were the headliners at the show. And the production assistant came up to me and was like, she pointed at the winners and she was like, just so you know, like, this is their 5th time submitting. So don't think because it didn't happen.
Right.
So I've really been chasing I was like, if we can do, after that show, I kept telling my band, I was like, if we can do what we did in Houston in 9 other different cities, it's over with. So it's just like, I think that having that in mind as the goal then made me think, how can I create a winning song? What does it take to be a winning artist in this? And I just learned a lot about like authenticity.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I've been a casual fan of the contest for a while, and what I've noticed is that, of course, you gotta have great production value, great sound, great performance, which all of those things you have.
Yeah.
But to me, what I've noticed about the winners is that they often seem to have some kind of a message that meets the moment. So do you agree with all of that? And what do you think it was about your message that resonated in this moment?
It was perfect, first of all. That's exactly what it is. I think that what it was is like myself personally, I'm inspired by artists that make me want to be not like them, but artists that are so themselves that it makes me want to be like me. So I think that there is just like a level of just like authenticity and rawness in the submission that people just resonated with. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the same thing that I took. I went back and I looked at all of the winning submissions interviews and about what the Tiny Desk judges said about their stuff, and it was always a message or something they could take away from it. And I think myself doing music, I used to kind of not really want to put myself completely out there on Front Street, but it wasn't until that I started doing that all the recognition started coming, you know?
You've talked about rap as medicine.
Yeah.
And I think you've been also very open about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's a lane there for artists? Are we seeing artists who are being really upfront and honest about these topics?
Yeah. Especially now. I mean, you look at like your Kid Cudi's, and like that's kind of like the mainstream of it. But like even for me, like my biggest musical influence is Lauryn Hill, and I used to listen to Unplugged 2.0 every single day before school because it just like helped with my anxiety. There's more interludes on that project than there are songs, and it's her just literally talking about her mental illness, her mental health. She's talking about like her acceptance of self and her dealing with like the pressures of being in like the industry and stuff like that. And it's just like, I was so just inspired by that. And I think that's what it is. We all go through things and we all deal with stuff in our own way. And it's great to get to see someone up on a platform that isn't perfect, because no one is. And we're just so used to a society that convinces us that that is the case, you know?
Yeah. Let's talk about the song, No Brainer. It's got a great hook.
Yeah.
Left brain, right brain,
no brain.
No brain.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the writing of this song. What were you getting at?
I think it's really all about like my creative process. It's all about how I learned to go into writing without overthinking it. Like I told you last year, I was doing a verse every single day for a year, and that literally since you have to put something out at the end of the day, you don't really have time to overthink it. You know what I mean? And like being a perfectionist is just procrastination with a leather coat on. You know what I mean? So I think that the song is really all about like me saying like I'm not even thinking, I'm just doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as far as like as an artist and as a creator, you know, are you more left-brained or are you more right-brained? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, neither. Just don't think too hard about it.
Your sound has been described in a couple of different ways.
Well, tell me, because I don't even know at this point.
Well, I wanted to ask you, I think I saw trippy rap with elements of soul and R&B. Okay. I mean, you have live instruments in your band, which is you know, something that we see some artists out there doing, but you definitely have a unique take on this. What I'm curious about is whether you heard that sound in your head and then assembled it, or whether this was sort of the result of some artistic experimentation.
100% experimentation. Yeah. Whenever I first came out on the scene here in Deep Ellum, after I played Badu's birthday party, I was playing like literally 5 residencies a week. And like just getting to be in all different type of venues. And some shows I was playing with the DJ, some shows I was playing with the live band. And it's like, I've gotten 10 years of like, kind of this really weird bootleggy artist development from like the University of Deep Ellum, you know? So I think it's just like, it just made the most sense. I think that's exactly what Dallas is. It's just it's an amalgamation of a bunch of different like scenes and sounds that it's like we're all taking from different influences and people that we look up to musically, but whenever it's done in our particular way, it creates its own sound. You know what I mean?
And there's a moment in the song No Brainer where you kind of crack a joke.
Mm-hmm. Or which one?
Well, I mean, when it gets quiet and it hints at your identity.
We're talking about the gayness of it
Yeah.
all? Okay.
So
girl, you can say gay, it's okay.
Well, I wanted to ask about that because it all gets quiet,
Uh-huh.
and it's just a memorable moment in the song. I wanted to ask you about including that and how that aspect of your identity has shaped you as an artist.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of the paranoia that needed to be cured. It was a situation where it's like, I felt like people already knew, and it's like, or not even that, it's feeling like, dang, well, if I make it as this thing, I'm gonna have to like, as this thing that I'm pretending to be, I'm gonna have to like uphold this identity, you know what I mean? And then you run into a situation where it's like people becomes fans of something that you're pretending to be and not of what you actually are. So the reason why I wanted like the music to cut out then is because that can give everyone that's like new to seeing me, this song, this band, whatever, give you a second to get off the bus if you want to. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about like doing everything I can to gain as many fans as I can. I used to be, when I was younger, my goal was to be successful enough to be myself. And now I'm in a position where I get to be myself enough to become successful. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I was like, cut the music. I got something to say.
Yeah. It's memorable. And it's a sound, I think, your band has a sound, you have a personal identity that many people might not associate with Dallas or with Texas. And now you have this opportunity to be out there on a national stage.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
I think it means that it's like the reason why Dallas doesn't necessarily have an identity is because it goes back to what I said a second ago, is that you're trying to become successful off of a caricature of a successful person instead of just being yourself and a successful person. You know what I mean? There's like some Dallas sound tries to emulate LA, some Dallas sound tries to emulate Atlanta, or you know what I mean? Situation like that. I think that I get to be on a platform to put Dallas on the map and let people know that there are musicians here that just as themselves are killing everybody else out there.
Yeah. Well, I want to leave you with the last word here, and I think we were speaking earlier about the name, Cure for Paranoia. I think that's as good a place as any to leave this. As you describe what that name means, how you came upon it, and what you think that your new fans will be able to take away from it.
I just think that people should know that I'm gonna be a little bit different from the artist that you're used to being introduced to, because kind of other artists get on stage and they want to try their best to convince you to like them, but that's not really what I'm here for. I think I'm just here to convince people to like themselves.
Well said. Thanks. Cam, congratulations and
Thank
good
you,
luck
man.
to you out there on the road.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then we cut.